Opening doors. Closing doors.
Thank you, Stephen Toast. Please tell me when I've reached floor 2 and when the doors are opening.
Floor 2. Opening doors.
Thank you, Stephen. Regards to Clem Fandango. Thank you.
Your face mask for disembarkation. And if you do require any assistance here in Bulgaria, please speak to our colleagues who will be happy to help. On behalf of us all at British Airways, I would like to thank you for choosing to fly with us today. We really look forward to welcoming you back again very soon. Thank you and a very good afternoon.
Finally made it to Sofia. Yoo-hoo! Sofia! Good to see ya! Just looking for our hotel on this cobbledy, broken up old street. And we found it! Well done, Elizabeth, well spotted.
Oh, I just thought it would I was hoping you'd go even further than you did, but you didn't.
Well, we've just checked into our hotel. A little bit odd at reception, but the room itself is quite roomy. And we have a balcony with a view of Vitosha Mountain, which I hope to ascend at some point during our stay. Slightly snow covered at the peak still. This works out quite well.
Yes, I know what I'm doing. You have to do it. Falls naturally after you've done that.
Forty, the moose. The moose is talking.
Quite unusual, those buildings there, look. It's like a modern one in the middle. Oh, no, that's too much in. Right, let's get this kettle on. Really, it's almost Christ-like figure, isn't it? I don't get the significance of the weaponry. Or are they supposed to be flames? It is Robbie Bird because he tended to write in dialect a bit more than that. But it is well known.
It is well known. Even I'd heard of it. It's a misty morning at the moment, 10 o'clock in the morning. Well, just got off the bus. It's 11 o'clock and the sun is out, beautiful blue sky. Got on the tube metro by our hotel, it was completely cloudy. Got off 5 stops later at Vitosha to catch the bus and the sky was completely blue, amazing. Anyway, let's see how I get on. I'm just about to go searching for the waterfall at Bojana and then make my way up the mountain. It's quite a brutal climb. Been climbing about half an hour now, and I was expecting to have to climb 1.5 miles to reach the Bojana waterfalls. There's some kind of waterfall, but whether that's the full-blown thing, I'm not sure. So I'm going to have to play this by ear a little bit today. It's a very indistinct path most of the way. Not very clear at all. At some point I was expecting to branch off and take another path, but the paths are almost invisible. I suspect today is not going to go to plan. Already sweating buckets after half an hour. Due to my ongoing problems with Virgin Mobile, I'm unable to access roaming here in Sofia. So not able, once I'm outside the hotel, to identify that I'm on the track that I noticed on Google Maps. I noticed there were 2 routes on Google Maps, and I rather suspect I've fallen onto the route that I didn't plan to take, because this route actually leads me across what appears to be the waterfall onto the other side. Yep, pretty sure I'm going to end up getting lost today. Let's carry on and see where I end up. A little bit of rain last night, which would have been good for the health of the waterfall. Doesn't look very strong. Seems to be struggling a bit climbing up the slope. Mind you, I know how he feels. I suspect that the little waterfall I crossed a while back was a tributary of the main waterfall, because I seem to be still on the side of some cascading water that I anticipated I should be. I think I'm at a height at the moment of about 1100 meters, which is higher than the top of Snowdon, so I'm not sure how that relates to how high I've been in other places around the world. A couple of times I've nearly lost my footing and gone tumbling down the hillside, but just managed to stop myself. It's quite a steep incline, and it's going from left to right, so I'm reaching out to grab something to hold on to, and by the time I'm reaching it, I'm already leaning further to the right than I anticipated. Well, I suspect that was the official close-up viewpoint of the waterfall. So it took me an hour and a half to get here, 1.5 miles, which isn't bad going. So this is at a height of about 1340 meters. So now I've got to try and find the track back to where I should have started from if I'd gone the correct way. Well, at this point it would appear that I'm climbing up actually part of the waterfall itself. This is such a treacherous path. Ah! Slipped. Shit, my foot's getting wet now. Jesus Christ. Better stop filming. That indicates that I'm on a path, but where it leads to I've no idea. I suspect there are people up here that have been wandering around lost for days or weeks. You just see part of the city there. I can't seem to get away from the waterfall. Every time I think I'm done with it, the path leads me higher and higher and keeps me by the waterfall flow when I'm trying to get back into the rest of the mountain trails. But hopefully, as we're approaching 1 o'clock, this may be the last and the highest point of the Bojana waterfalls. Let's hope so. Meanwhile, somewhere down there in the city, Elizabeth is hopefully enjoying her Sofia walking tour and then seeing lots of Roman remains and ruins. Well, it's nearly 1:30. I'm about 1450 meters and I've at last managed to head away from the waterfall, and I think I found my original path, more through luck than judgment, and my notes say after 400 meters uphill from the waterfall, make a right turn. So I'll do that and see if I can get back on track for reaching the viewpoint. Look at that. It's nearly 2 o'clock and I stumbled across a viewpoint of the city. Well, I reached a point just behind me there where I was expecting to make a left turn and then join a track that might take me on a 2.5 mile route to the Carmendale viewpoint I had in mind. Then I glanced over to the right and discovered this fantastic viewpoint behind me of the city. And so I may well try and go back down to Boyana on this side of the waterfall, following the yellow signposts there, which tell me I should be able to do that. That would save me a 2.5 mile trek. Well, I've ended up at a viewpoint. It's not the viewpoint I was looking for, but it's pretty darn good. Where you can see the airport. And the massive park we were in yesterday. Glinting dome of Nevsky Cathedral. And the centre of town, just north of which is our hotel. I'll trust that these signs are right. I'm on the other side of the waterfall now, and hopefully I should be able to make my way back down. If only I had access to roaming. It'd be so much easier to verify where exactly I was. So I'm hoping this moment of serendipity will continue and that this trail does in fact do what it says and lead me back to Boyana Church via the waterfall. I am on the other side of the waterfall now, but as I say, I put my trust in this path. Hopefully things will work out okay. Yes, definitely does say Boyana Church, Waterfall and District. Just beginning to hear the waterfall again now, although I can't see it yet. I'm hoping that this path will be completely different to the one I took up, because that going down would have been very treacherous. I must have fallen or stumbled at least 3 or 4 times on the way up. So I'm hoping the path will be something like this all the way. And a very steep path so far. And I can now see a bridge that looks like one I went over earlier. So maybe the path back is going to be as tricky. Is that one I went over earlier? I'm really not sure. No, definitely not. So confusing. Those handrails look familiar. That may have been the route I took on the way up. But this is now suggesting a route down here. It's the same horrible route down from the top. That was ridiculously hard. 2 hours of hell going up. Nice moment with the waterfall, that's pretty pleasant. And then a bit of chance encounter with a fantastic view over the city. And then another hour of hell coming back down. Whew. Still made it. Now looking to get the bus back to the hotel.
In somewhere, this is what he wanted me to do. Even the dogs don't want him to do it.
Just a residential area, dwellings. Hang on a minute, what's this? Something unusual over there. Looks like a house. Designed to look like a snail. Who could have thought such a thing could exist in such a dreary, drab neighborhood? Wow, that's remarkable. The snail house. If only Elizabeth was here to see it as well.
What an end to whatever trip. Walnut cake and black Russian.
And away.
Внимание! Хотите перестраивать. Следующая станция Искорское шоссе. Next station Искорское шоссе.
беше предвиден, ще бъдете изведени през изход B4. Изход за Мадрид B4. Ladies and gentlemen, this announcement is for passengers traveling by Bulgarian Air Flight